the past 5 years, since the release of Endgame in 2019, we've certainly seen some very low points for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But amidst all of the problems that they've had, the box office failures, the streaming disasters, there's one project that might be more embarrassing than any of the others, and that's the Blade movie. It was all the way back in 2019 San Diego Comic-Con, so this was following the success of Endgame, and regardless of how you feel about the movie itself and maybe what it set up for the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, at that time, the biggest movie ever released in history. And Kevin Feige made a bunch of big announcements in August at San Diego Comic-Con, including Mahershala Ali would be starring in a new Blade movie. Well, that was 5 years ago, and there hasn't been a Blade movie in sight. There's been a lot of news about it. Multiple directors have been hired and then left the project, or fired maybe by Marvel. A multitude of different writers. The thing's been delayed over and over and over again. And finally, you thought with that final delay, pushing it all the way back to December of 2025, they might finally have a way that they could get this movie done. Apparently, that is not the case, because Blade has been delayed yet again, and this time, they didn't even put a release date on it. Marvel Studios' Blade removed from 2025 release schedule. Disney dates Predator Badlands instead. In what comes as no surprise, Marvel Studios' Blade won't be coming out on November 7, 2025. Rather, Disney is opening 20th Century Studios' Predator Badlands. The reboot of the famed Wesley Snipes Marvel movie was first announced at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019, with two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali starring. Production and development on Blade hit unavoidable delays with a global pandemic and dual industry strikes. It would be one thing if those were the issues that had kept this movie down. That's not it. The problem has been in the writing room. And if you remember, the leaks behind that first Blade script that was out there, one of the problems was they were trying to make this an MCU movie, turn Blade into an MCU movie, with Blade being the fourth lead in his own movie, and the rest of them, of course, were women. Now, certainly we've seen a lot of things changing at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It looks like the direction they want to go going forward, more about getting butts in seats instead of virtue signaling. Long way to go when it comes to that before anyone's going to trust them with any of that type of thing. But they've had a multitude of writers and directors leave the project, some just weeks before production was set to begin. So to be like, well, it's been unavoidable due to the strike and the pandemic, that is not the problem with this movie. And it should be pretty simple. This should be one of the most simple things in the world to make. It's not that deep. People want to see a badass Blade killing a bunch of vampires in an R-rated movie. That's what they want. And really, to pour salt on the wound, in a way, obviously Marvel had a lot of success with Deadpool and Wolverine, a massive movie, biggest R-rated movie ever, one of the top grossing MCU movies of all time. But Wesley Snipes' small return as Blade in that showed people that's probably what people want. People would rather just have you bring Wesley Snipes back as Blade and, make a movie more in line with those movies than try to do whatever new take you're trying to do. And you have a guy who is super talented in Mahershala Ali, multiple Oscar winners that wanted to do this character. And for 5 years, you have done absolutely nothing. It is now going to be, at a minimum, 6 or 7 years before we see this character. If it would have been released in 2025, that would have been 6 years since it was announced in 2019 until we actually saw the character on screen. Now it's going to at least be 2027. They should just cancel this. Cancel this film, and if you're going to do one, just bring Wesley Snipes back. That's what everybody fucking wants anyway. What an embarrassing disaster for Marvel when it comes to the Blade movie. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.